Hi everybody, this is Keith. Welcome to my channel, Attack from Down Under. Today's video is just an update on things with me and my channel, and then I'll talk a little bit about glam metal and a few other things. First off, I think people are a little bit puzzled about my channel. I like a variety of music. What I tend to do is I watch a lot of heavy metal videos, and I've got a little list. I write down a lot of people's recommendations on things to listen to. I'm finding some really good stuff, especially over the last few weeks. And then I tend to stream a lot of music. I've got some edifice speakers set up that I stream through and listen to the music that way. And then if I think it's something I should definitely pick up in some format, then that's what I do. I buy on vinyl and I buy on CD. I collect cassettes as well. So all those things I'll show you in this video. A lot of heavy metal ones I've got lately. So I work in the weekends is another thing. And weekends tends to be the time when a lot of people upload their videos to YouTube. So apologies if you've commented on some of my videos and I haven't got back to you, or you've seen my videos and I haven't seen your videos. Usually I catch up on a lot of these things early in the week when everyone's gone back to work. That's when my day's off, and that's when I catch up on things and watch a lot of people's videos and comments. So that's sort of my schedule. I noticed that there's a lot of people in the metal community, and they tend to upload their videos around about the same time. I think that's because they're doing gigs or doing band practices and things in the weekend. The ones that I've noticed that are in bands. So they've got commitments in the weekends as well, and they tend to put forward their videos around about the same time. Well, that's what I think. So just look out for my videos later in the week, and if I'm a bit slow commenting on your videos or watching your videos, then that's sort of why. So anyway, right, I'll get back into it. I'll just basically talk about new things I've found and picked up recently. I do, at the moment, just looking out for a lot of cassettes. So I've found this one here. This is Anthrax Among the Living. This is an album I've been looking for on vinyl as well, but I haven't found a decent enough copy. I found some roughies, but not a decent enough copy. But I found this one, so I picked it up for you cassette guys. That's a bit faded there, but otherwise it's all right. And yeah, but really classic. I like the song "I Am the Law." Bit of a comic fan, bit of a comic nerd at times. So another one I picked up is this Love Hate cassette, Wasted in America. Okay. So this sort of fits a bit also in the main topic of this, that in fighting, and there's a bit of drug abuse, I think, in this band too. There we go. Got all the lyrics there. I was into their first album. The second album here, I've just got recently, so I'm going to have to investigate this a bit more. But when it first came out, I was into their first album. I don't know why I didn't follow on with this band, but I just never did. I used to play that one quite a lot. Just a couple of CDs I found very cheap, like I'm talking about $1. So this is Def Leppard's The Sparkle Lounge. Never heard this before. Got to give that a listen maybe, and we've got a bit to listen to. AC/DC's The Razor's Edge. I've got this on cassette, but whenever I see an AC/DC CD they haven't got, I usually pick that up. Another thing I'm trying to find is all the Thin Lizzy albums. I've got some of the compilations, but I just want to collect some of the original albums. I've got one already, and I think one's arrived just the other day. I haven't had time today to unpack it yet. So I'm trying to get all their catalogue on vinyl. Another thing that came through the post is Ghost's latest album, which is Pantomime. It's got a really good cover on it. This has got to be right up there with some of their best covers. Just really like this cover. So in between their major albums, which the last one was Impera, they do covers quite often. They seem to be doing a covers album. This one is very pop metal, and before they launch into the next album, it's just 5 new cover versions. That's all it is. There's no Ghost originals in here. They're all just covers of other bands' songs. Some of them fit, and some of them don't fit quite so well. There's covers of Genesis, the Stranglers. They do an Iron Maiden cover of Phantom of the Opera. Pretty straightforward cover. There's also Television. That doesn't fit so well. The Television song doesn't fit so well. It's called, I think it's See No Evil. But the one that really sort of works, I think, is the Tina Turner, the cover of We Don't Need Another Hero. That sounds really good on this album. So I'll just show you the vinyl for that, and I'll talk a bit more about it. This is a silver version of it. There again. There's a cover of the Genesis song that came out in 1991, the single Jesus He Knows Me. I hated that song when it came out at the time. I did not like it one bit, but I actually really like the version that Ghost do. And I've been listening to it. So it's quite poppy. This album's quite poppy. It might not appeal to you if you like your early Ghost. So that Jesus He Knows Me is sort of talking about the United States money-grabbing televangelists, just in it for the money. So that was just came the other day. I'm just trying to keep up with all the things that are arriving. There's a few other things. So the topic of this video is infighting and drug abuse, basically just glam metal in the 80s and 90s. We've all heard the stories of a lot of these bands. They seem to follow a similar path. Before I talk a bit more about that sort of scene, I'm just going to talk about Queensryche, because there's been a shit ton of infighting with that band. So this was the first EP that came out. This is, got the old logo. This is the Japanese one. There you go, from the back there. So they were trying, they had a demo tape, and they're going around all the record companies trying to get a good deal, and someone listened, and then they put out this EP, and that started from there. So the songs on here are Queen of the Reich, was it Lady Wore Black? And just the vocals really just were something you haven't quite heard before. Jeff Tate's vocals were just so good in this. So I think the name that they originally had for the band they couldn't really use, so they decided to just sort of make a band name out of the titles for that song, Queen of the Reich. They just sort of shortened it and put an umlaut, the little things up the top there in German, and just called the band Queen's Reich. Right, so I'll show you the vinyl for that. Got a good copy of that. There we go. And of course, after that, we have an album that I think I've shown probably quite a few times, probably about 2-3 times in my videos, and that is Operation Mindcrime. And this helped to put them out there quite a bit as concept album. I won't talk too much about it because I've talked about it before. So anyway, going forward to 1990, Queen's Reich put out the album Empire, and they did a power ballad. Everyone was sort of doing power ballads at the time, and they helped to sell a lot of records on the strength of a ballad song. And they were no different. Then they did this song, Silent Lucidity, which really did well. And this song was composed by the lead guitarist, Chris Diagamo. Probably their biggest hit for the band. I think it was their biggest hit. And it's just got a few live tracks from that album there I just showed you, Operation Mindcrime. And I'll show you the poster. See, that was the album there, Queen's Reich. Empire, massive poster. There's a big band shot in there. This hasn't come out since probably when I bought it. Oops. But I watch other people's videos, and sometimes they don't show the stuff inside, and sometimes they don't show the records. And I want them to show them. Like, show the records, show that. So that's just for people that want to see the whole thing. So some of the original members were a bit dissatisfied with how Jeff Tate was running things. By later in years, his wife had taken over management of the band, and he had other family members doing other things. So they sort of realised that the band was sort of getting away from them. And so I think they had meetings and different things, and they wanted basically the control back from Jeff Tate. So in the end, they fired Jeff Tate. They got rid of his partner as manager, and they just did a clean slate of the whole thing. So obviously that led to a bit of unhappiness and legal action. The result being there was a split. And so it led to two different versions of the band. Legal action went on for a while, and in the end it was decided that the original members, bar Jeff Tate, would keep the name Queen's Reich, and Jeff Tate would go off, and he eventually started a new version, and he called that group Operation Mindcrime. So Queen's Reich replaced Jeff Tate with Todd LaTorre, and he was a singer that was known for being in the band Crimson Glory, and I think he's an outstanding singer. I've listened to a number of the albums that he sang on. He's done 3 with Queensryche. Conditioned Human, which came out in 2015. I like that. I've got a CDR of that I played. I haven't heard The Verdict at all, which came out in 2019. And they've got Digital Noise Alliance, which came out last year. I listened to it when it came out about 2-3 times. I haven't listened to it much since, but I'm going to put it on the CD player. I haven't really listened, but I did really enjoy this. The other notary thing about this is there's a Billy Idol cover in here, Rebel Yell. So that's the CD pack I bought at the time. So it's all worth listening. If you like Geoff Tate, then and say, well, that's Queensryche, well, you can move on and just listen to this. Give this guy a chance, because I think he's really good as well. Right, so also as a sort of case study in what I've been talking about, infighting and drug abuse, a lot of bands that came out in the 80s and in the height of, later on in the height of glam metal, they sort of follow a predictable path. And one of those bands that I just like to talk about is Salty Dog. And this is their record, Every Dog Has Its Day, and this was released in 1990. This was, at the time, the market was full of similar bands, maybe oversaturated. So this cover there, you can have a good look at that. This would probably make one of my videos of top heavy metal covers. Really good cover on there. If you like Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood, I think you'd like this. It does have really good production. The drums sound really good on this. The production's very good. There's some really good guitar work by Pete Reven. It's quite bluesy. The song that I like is Come Along, which is the first song on side 1. The rest of the album's really good, but that first song just is a one that sort of knocks it out of the park. The lead singer is Jimmy Bleacher. He's got a voice that's a bit different. It's a bit screechy. Not everyone will like it. I like it. He does a version on here also of the bluesy blues player Willie Dixon, Spoonful as well. So he can handle blues songs, and he can handle ballads, and he can handle heavy metal. Right, so I'll just show you the vinyl and that, and I'll just talk about the band a little bit more. So this came out on Geffen. So I think they self-financed one of their videos, and there's a bit of trouble with the record company about how they did that. But one of the main things that sort of stymied them is a lot of the members started getting into the drug scene, including heroin, and it took quite a long time for them to get off the drugs. And by that time, things sort of had moved on quite a bit. As you know, a lot of these bands have their window, and that type of music is popular. But then, if they run into trouble and time goes on, then so does musical taste. So they miss out. So because of drugs, because of fighting, I think in the band in 1991, Jimmy Bleacher, he was replaced by a new singer. His name was Daryl Beach. But of course, the fighting and the drug issues persisted. The new singer did not work out. And then by 1993, that was it. That was over for this band. But this is a great album. I like it. Right. Still staying with the glam metal. This is Warrant, Cherry Pie. This was also released in the heyday of glam metal, around about 1990. It's the second studio album by the American glam metal band Warrant. And this album is the band's best known, and it's probably their highest selling release. And look at that hype sticker there. It's been re-released recently. Got some really good songs. Uncle Tom's Cabin. I like that one. I sort of like the title track. It's okay. Cherry Pie. Legend has it that the record company asked the lead singer, vocalist, Jenny Wayne, to write. They needed a strong single for the album. And he wrote it in about 15 minutes. And it's one of their big songs. So there's another album that I'm thinking about getting. It's Dog Eat Dog. If anyone's heard that and can just tell me in the comments whether that's a good one to pick up. That's just been re-released as well. So this is an Australasian, which is New Zealand, Australia version of the album. And that's just on CBS. Okay, another one is Brittany Fox, and the album is Bite Down Hard. This is their third studio album. This came out in 1991 by the American glam metal band Brittany Fox, and it's the first to feature the singer Tommy Paris. Now, I've watched one of Dan's videos. He's got the Off the Charts channel, and he said this is a re-release. He said they've actually swapped out the model, so this is a different model there, holding the apple and the snake, that it is in the original. So I thought that was interesting. Maybe they couldn't get the rights to show that particular model. So the hype sticker, it says, first time on vinyl in the US, featuring guest appearances by Zakk Wylde and Ricky Rocket. So Ricky Rocket was the Poison drummer. And there's a bit of lyrics and band shots in there. So I'll just show you the vinyl. I don't know if I should because it's not the most attractive. So people have sort of said this is a vomit splatter or other, brown, I don't know what to call it, shite splatter, I don't know. There we go. Right, so that's it for my heavy metal video. My subs, I just like to talk about at the end. My subs have reached 66, so thank you for those that are subbing. Is it too much to ask to get 666 by next week? Then I'll have 666. Probably is, but never mind. So thank you for watching that. Thank you for staying with me through all my ramblings, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.